The Fire Princess is an Icelandic story. Once upon a time, in the cold land of Iceland, there lived a princess named Olga. Princess Olga was a very special person in the kingdom, and as her name suggests, she was called the Fire Princess. Because her hair was fiery red like a crimson flame, and there was always a warm air in the air wherever she walked. People around her rumored that she might have magical powers. The kingdom was covered in ice and snow, and the cold continued. The king and queen warmly raised their daughter who grew up in a cold environment, hoping that her power would be the guardian of the kingdom. However, Princess Olga herself did not know where her power would come from. She felt that the fiery power was just a mysterious ability. One winter evening, terrible news arrived in the kingdom. A large volcano had awakened from the northern mountains, and lava was pouring out, threatening the kingdom. The people of the kingdom were frightened and began to flee from their houses. However, the lava was getting closer and closer, and the entire kingdom was about to be swallowed up by the calamity. The king said in despair, "If there is a way to quell this volcano, I want anyone to do it, or our kingdom will be burned down." At that time, Princess Olga made a decision. She remembered the legend that her mother taught her. It says, when the Princess of Fire controls the fire, the kingdom will restore peace again. Princess Olga felt that her powers were connected with the legend, and she decided to make up her mind and head to the volcano. As a man of the power of fire, I will defend this kingdom. Princess Olga told her father and headed for the northern mountains. The journey was harsh, in the freezing wind and snow. Princess Olga desperately went on. The mountain road was steep and slippery underfoot, making her almost fall many times. But believing in herself with fiery power, she never gave up. Finally, Princess Olga reached the top of the volcano and stood in front of the raging volcano. Lava flowed out of the mountain, and the surroundings were as hot and red as hell. But Princess Olga was not afraid and took a deep breath. Then, feeling the power of fire in his body, he spread his hands and shouted to the sky. "With my power, I will control this fire and protect the kingdom." At that moment, a red light emitted from Princess Olga's body, and a fiery force swirled around her. Her hair swayed like flames, and the power of fire overflowed from her hands, and the fierce flames of the volcano on the mountain top gradually began to subside. The lava stopped its flow and the volcano calmed down. When Princess Olga used up her power, she wobbled to her feet and vowed to summon it to protect her kingdom once again. Her body had heat, but her heart was calm and full. The volcano completely subsided and did not burn the kingdom. When Princess Olga returned to the kingdom, the people greeted her with joy and thanksgiving. She became a hero of the kingdom, using the power of fire to make it prosperous. As the Fire Princess, she became a symbol of wisdom, courage, and strength, and continued to be loved by the people of the kingdom. And the name of Princess Olga was passed down to later generations, and she was remembered for a long time as a brave princess who controlled fire and stood up to the cool-headed forces of nature. That's it.